Does a C-section always prevent a baby from suffering a traumatic brain injury like HIE? Or let's say that you have a C-section and your baby still suffers a traumatic brain injury. Does that mean that medical malpractice could not have been the cause because you had the C-section? When we have families contact us and they have these questions surrounding a C-section, we realize that there's confusion over this topic. And a lot of times it's coming from the fact that, well, if I had a C-section and the baby was removed, then something else must have caused the baby to suffer the brain injury. When we're analyzing these cases as birth injury and birth trauma attorneys, what we're looking at was there a delay in moving to the C-section? That's what one of the issues is going to be from a medical legal standpoint. Was there a delay in moving to the C-section? And to be able to understand this, I want to give you a simple example. Let's say that when you get to the hospital and they hook you up, they put you on the electronic fetal heart monitor, everything is looking fine. There's no real problems. The readings on the electronic fetal heart monitor, they are in what we call a reassuring place. There are no issues that are present. But let's say that as time goes on, the strip begins to run into some problems. Let's say that you now have mom having too many contractions. She's in a condition called tachysystole. Let's say that there may be either late or prolonged late decelerations. Let's say that there are maybe some issues of minimal variability. There could be tachycardia. There could be bradycardia. In other words, the strip is now moving to a place that is non-reassuring, and it's putting the medical professionals on notice that this baby is no longer tolerating a vaginal delivery. And the conservative treatment options or the conservative treatment that the medical professionals are performing on mom, either moving her, doing a position change, giving mom oxygen, a bolus, these things are just not clearing it up. The monitor is still showing that this baby is not tolerating this vaginal delivery. But even with all of this going on, the medical professionals think that it's okay to just have mom continue to bear down and continue to push on through. And then when things just get really bad, now all of a sudden they want to move to an emergency C-section. In this example, when we have medical experts, other medical doctors and medical professionals review everything, they may say that, you know what, no, the standard of care dictated that at this point in time that the baby should have been, or mom and baby should have been prepped for an emergency C-section. But these medical professionals, in my example, they blew through that time frame. They let mom continue to go. And then when things just got really bad, then all of a sudden they want to move to an emergency C-section. And then the baby is here. Baby's got a traumatic brain injury. Maybe baby is floppy, discolored, need oxygen, hypothermia, cooling, handoff to the NICU, seizures, everything. And even though, like I said, even though that C-section or that emergency C-section was performed, I'm hoping you can see in this example, the delay that was done, the delay was problematic. And especially when, like I said, you have medical experts who will say that, no, this delay is what has caused this baby, this departure from the standard of care is what caused this baby to suffer this traumatic brain injury. So I hope that you can understand in this video that there are a lot of issues that are present when a baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury and a C-section has been performed. That's why it's important to talk with attorneys who understand these critical issues, know where to look in the records and the experts that are needed to help be able to give families answers as to the cause of their baby's traumatic brain injury. If you have more questions, maybe your baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury, maybe you had a C-section and now you're wondering, was there a delay in the C-section? Maybe there was a delay, maybe there wasn't a delay, but you have questions as to what's going on. Was genetics, did genetics play a role? Did developmental things play a role? If you have all of this going on, what I invite you to do is go ahead and pick up the phone. There's a telephone number down below. Get your phone and give me a call. Call my office. I speak with families like yours all the time on these types of issues: birth trauma, birth injury, HIE, CP, traumatic brain injury, this is what we do. When you call my office, and remember, initially calling my office and talking with me about everything, it costs you nothing to call me. When you call my office, be sure, and you talk to my secretary, be sure that you give us a date and a time to be able to get on my calendar so I can call you back and talk with you about your baby story. One more thing too before I get out of here. I practice law here in the state of Maryland, and this video is on the internet, it's on websites, it's on social media sites. A lot of people will watch this video, and I can't control who's going to watch the video and who's going to call me. A lot of times we will have individuals who will call us and they are not in Maryland. They're in the United States, but they're not in Maryland. If you contact me and you're not in Maryland, you have to understand if this is something that we think we can assist you with, that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can work to help you on, but I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or that local counsel aspect of things if you contact my office and you're not here in Maryland. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We'll talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.